What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So, yes, the other day, I think it was Monday officially, the Lakers did announce JJ Redick as their new head coach, the 29th in Lakers history, which is, like I always said, pretty crazy because never thought we'd get to this day naming not only a Duke Blue Devil the head coach of the Lakers, but of all of them, JJ Redick. But very excited. Obviously, he says he wants to be a great NBA coach and wants to win multiple championships. So he's saying all the right things. Even had some profanity towards the end of that conference, and a lot of people are going with that. It's obviously the way JJ talks, but either way, it was a big day for him. Obviously, it was his birthday as well, so a big time announcement, a big time event for him, an eventful day. So yeah, congrats to him all around, and definitely looking forward to seeing what he can do because he's on the ground and running. They're already trying to get stuff ready for the draft that starts today as you're watching this, or later on today. So yeah, we'll see what ends up happening there. And then, according to ESPN, one of their reporters, I think it's Nick 10, so that could be David Meneman or someone else, but I believe they're saying that the Lakers are committed to signing LeBron to a 3-year max deal, and I guess that just means he's going to opt out and officially try to sign a new contract with the Lakers. I forget how much he would be getting this year if he were to pick up his player option. I'm sure it's over $50 million, but according to this max deal, I think it's going to be like a 3-year, $162 million total max contract. The first year at $50 million, second year at $54 million, and the third at $58 million as well. So yeah, a lot of big numbers there, especially for a guy. When it comes to next season, when it starts, he'll be 39. Next year, he'll be 40, and then 41 with those crazy ass numbers. So I know Kobe did the same thing. I know the Lakers tried to take care of their main stars, but it also did hurt the Lakers in the process as well to try to give them a nice ending towards the end of their career because there was just not enough money to sign somebody else. But either way, if this is the way they go, then I guess we'll have to deal with it as of right now. It sucks, but if you're a true Laker fan, you'll stick around no matter who is playing, I guess. And then there was that cornerback from the state of Georgia I talked about pretty recently. His name was Shamar Arno, and he had recently visited USC, and everything went great after they just barely offered him. So he was over there really quick, and I think he had just released a top 5, which included USC earlier this week, which was pretty cool. And then, so of course, me doing me on X, I just reposted it, did a hashtag fight on with the fight on emojis, and he ended up liking it pretty quickly after that. So hopefully that means some good things for USC being able to get his commitment at some point in the future. I don't know exactly when he will be committing, but everything looks like it's going good, especially if that quarterback Julian Lewis ends up sticking with USC. So hoping for the best. And that recent 4-star I talked about for USC, Kendarius Redick, that looks like he's going to be flipping his commitment from UCF to USC. Some people, even like some people would talk about USC and cover them, kind of said that even if he is saying he's going to go to USC now, don't kind of take his word for it, and they kind of don't even expect him to be a full-time commitment when it comes to the end of the year, which kind of does suck because, like I said, if USC ends up losing Stubbs, and I think they're getting a better, higher-rated player in Redick, so I would not be mad at that at all. But I also saw an interview with Stubbs pretty recently saying, like, yeah, he's seen everybody kind of going crazy and worried about it too much online and social media, but he says telling people to don't trip and to not worry about it. But of course, we'll see if he ends up sticking with his commitment as well, whether this guy Redick does commit too. But like I always say, hoping for the best when it comes to recruiting, but sometimes I might be covering this stuff too early, so I might have to wait a couple more months to kind of get it more official in my head. But that other 4-star running back, that 2025 guy that came in, he has a pretty tough name. It's like Daun Morris. He said his recent visit solidified his commitment, so I don't know if he's like that other offensive lineman, Willie Washer, or the defensive lineman Gus Cordova that they're pretty much shutting down their recruitments and not getting any calls, or try not to get any calls or anything like that hits from the other schools, and just sticking with USC. But that kind of sounds like it's pretty much done. And I think even when I put up a short about an interview with Gus Cordova that he did, he talked a lot about he'd been with the Terry and Gibson stuff with those guys decommitting, but also he said when he came, which was last weekend, a lot of those guys that he was on the visit with, he feels they're all 100% committed like he is too, and I believe Morris was over there as well over the weekend. So like I always say, hoping for the best news, and I just love what I had to hear from Gus Cordova. That's why I had to put it in a short on my YouTube channel. But yeah, it's a pretty good video, pretty good interview, so go check it out. And House of Victory had 2 more signings for USC athletes. They had the offensive tackle Mason Murphy and the center on the basketball side, and Josh Cohen, the transfer. So yeah, congrats and good luck to those guys. And I believe On3 put out a top 10 of the freshman linebackers in the country, and USC's incoming freshman Elijah Newby made that list at number 9, which is pretty cool because it's obvious that Cam Fountain is already on campus and doing some really good stuff and looks very good as that edge player freshman. But yeah, Newby was another very talented guy from the Northeast, so looking and hoping for some good positive stuff coming from him when he comes during the summer. And there was an On3 number 13 overall player in Tounde Yeso Ufou. I know I'm not saying that correct. He is going to be taking a USC official visit earlier on today, which is pretty cool. So on Tuesday, so yeah, hopefully they are able to get this very talented player. I don't know exactly what position he plays, but he already looks like a pretty big and solid dude. So hopefully they can end up picking him up. And then when it came to some of the other stuff, like Phil Steele put out a top 10 of the draft quarterbacks when it comes to next year's draft, and Miller Moss was on that list at number 10, or the very last of that top 10, but I think he's even better than Kyle McCord, who's a Syracuse quarterback now that's listed ahead of him. But we'll see how the season ends up playing out. So hopefully Miller Moss can climb that list. And then I think it was, DraftKings put out a top 10 Heisman odds for transfer quarterbacks, and USC's Jaden Maiava has the 6th best odds to win the Heisman Trophy, even though he's not even supposedly considered to be playing this year. Yeah, he's still supposedly in a pseudo competition for the main starting quarterback spot, but it kind of looks like Miller Moss is going to end up getting that starting spot. So it's kind of weird that he did end up popping up on something that was bettable, especially through DraftKings. So we'll see what ends up happening there, as I did mention Maiava in my other video pretty recently. And then, there's that 4-star cornerback Dejon Lee, a local guy who I believe is going to be announcing his commitment June 28th, so coming up pretty soon. But even though he still has USC in his final schools, it looks like he's going to be going to Alabama, which sucks because he's a very good local guy, and he talked quite a bit, especially last year, about coming to USC, and now all of a sudden, with the better defensive coaches and all that stuff, he doesn't want to come. So whatever. Good luck to him, I guess. So thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Bye.